Alright, welcome back to Dale Creamer's Custom Cars today. Don't tell anybody, but we're gonna start putting fuel injection on the Hemi Duster. Shh. Be very, very quiet. Shh. 1000 CFM. Ooh. So we're going from 750 Eldebrock. Wow. But I have a back issue, so yeah. Just pushing stump grinders today. Did my back in. That might have to come to an end. I might have stump grinders up for sale here pretty soon. But anyway, yeah, no, I'm not happy about nothing right now about that. But anyway, on a better note, how you doing today? Anyway, let's get back to the car. What I did is I bought on a previous video. Let's turn this around once. Oh, what's that? Oh, yeah, okay. Anyway, I bought this Aces fuel injection kit. You know, and so it's the one that controls through the phone, Bluetooth. And what we're gonna do today is we're just gonna put the throttle body on at least. Try to get it that far. Get something done here. Anyway, we're gonna try to put the throttle body on. I've already taken the 750 Eldebrock off. That's gonna be for sale. It's all rebuilt. Runs great. Sometimes I even question why I'm doing this. Huh. Well, I don't know. So I've already taken that off. I've gone through some of the I'm kind of planning on my fuel system here. And I went out and I bought all the required items that needs to be. They're all in this box. I got everything in here. I got fuel line regulators, fuel pumps, everything's there. And then I had to go to town and get some clamps for the new fuel line and stuff like that. And then over here I got this thing all prepped up already for the throttle body, so we'll get that on there today. Maybe I'm gonna try to see if I can hook up the throttle and all that stuff again right away. Try to recover as I go because my back is giving me crap and I'm not sure what it's gonna be. I've had kidney stones in the past, so I'm a little concerned. It might not be that, but you never know. You never know. I don't know. And my papers are all flying around here. Okay. So yeah, so we got this ready to go. I got the old fuel line off, but I think okay. So I got to run two lines. So the factory line here, I think I'm going to use as my return. I wonder if I can scan this out. So the factory line, I'm going to go to work, and that's going to be my return back to the tank. So I got to switch it at the tank as well. And then, so it'll come out of the injection unit, and stuff, and to the regulator. I'm going to try to mount the regulator somewhere in this area. You got to kind of plan for this stuff, guys, and so, but first you always got to put on, obviously that's where the throttle body's got to go, so that's where the fuel lines go. You know where your fuel tank is, you know where your car is, where you got to run lines. But between all this, you got to kind of plan this out. And when it comes to wiring, it has its own fan regulator on it, it runs off. So I'm going to be pulling this temperature switch out and putting theirs in. Just grounding this wire to the chassis. And then the power wire that feeds the fan regulator, this is all for the electric fan. And what feeds the electric fan is this regulator, or this relay here. So now I'll run the power wire off of that and it'll power up the relay. Well, the switch power side of it. And then the relay wire that comes, the power wire that comes from the switch is going to power up the unit. It'll power up the unit, and then there'll be some wires coming out here for the fan, and then I'm going to run it back to the power wire so it just activates the relay. Obviously, the major power goes through the relay, not through the unit. You see what I'm saying? And their temperature sensor, I'll pull this one out. I'll ground the relay because that's how that works. And then I'll go to work, and then I'll just run their temperature switch in here so it tells the unit what degree of temp the motor is. You never want to put it after the thermostat. You want to make sure it's kind of in the motor where the heat is. Don't put it after the thermostat because the thing will be running and it will think it's cold because it's after the thermostat. You got your sensor, so it's thinking it's cold yet, but the motor could be at 170 degrees, and now you got black smoke coming out of the exhaust because the thing is still thinking that it's cold. So you want a real-time temperature going to your unit, you know what I mean? So, and then here, obviously this is real time. I can't get any better than that on a Hemi unless I start knocking core plugs out and drilling holes, and, you know, unfortunately on these motors, you know, but I don't like it here, but I don't know where else I can put it. I don't have nothing. So, yeah, and then this temperature one, that's for my gauge. And this one's for my fan, but this is going to be for the injection unit, and it also, the injection unit will run the fan. So I'm just going to tee into this, and then the power up unit is going to be also with that same wire, the main power that comes off the switch, you know. So I have to look at that though. That might not work, I say. But today, let's get the injection unit on, and maybe the throttle or something. Let's get that done on this video. There's going to be several videos because then I got to go in the back and I got to start rearranging things. Electric fuel pump, that fan, the carburetor has to go. Unfortunately. I got this rigged up so beautiful, and then sometimes I even ask myself, maybe you're just doing something you shouldn't do. But I don't know. I don't know. You just take your chances and you just work on it, you know. So let's go over here. Let's go over here. Make sure we have a clean spot, which is right here. Let's pull the unit out with one hand. So I'm holding the camera with the other. Try not to damage no wires. Maybe I gotta use two. Well, maybe I can get her. Okay, so here's the unit. So, and then here's the gaskets. Okay, so now on this thing, what we gotta do, we gotta look at the, okay, so they got a cutout opening here I see for vacuum, for all these vacuum ports. See how that runs? So I wonder if it's a special gasket. Yeah, it kinda is. Kinda see the cutout. Okay, well, let's get you set up on a tripod over here, and then let's try to get this thing at least bolted on at a bare minimum. If my back says I can't do it,